Hello, I'm Stephen Wood, Head of Sales at the Zoe Napier Group, and I want to talk to you today about another issue that can arise in a survey, particularly with old and listed buildings, and that's timber infestation and damp. With my own property, I found that the property was suffering some damp and infestation, so I've got a couple of examples to you of issues that I found, and perhaps particularly with damp, the causes of that. If you look down here, you can see that the ground level was much higher than what it should have been. This in turn was causing a problem. It was stopping the moisture coming away, and because the ground will hold it, it only had one place to go, and that was to go inside. So what we did was we dragged the land level back, put it down to a much more sensible level, and that in turn has given us 6 months inside without it being up as high. And believe it or not, the damp problem is disappearing quite rapidly, so that's encouraging. Obviously there are times when the damp will be an issue and it does need something slightly more meaningful, and that is a case where sometimes you need to look at chemical injection for a silicone course, or you need to replace a damp course underneath a sole plate if that's the case. I think with all of these though, first of all, you need to get a specialist company in, and we can recommend companies who we work with on a regular basis, who not only understand how the buildings live and are not looking for work, they're actually going to do what's right by the building. So they will come in, they will have to do a survey on the property themselves, make a recommendation and also a cost, because that's always important. You will probably then again need to speak to the local authority to discuss whether or not it needs listed building consent, and also the best course of action as far as they're concerned. Moving on to infestation, you'd be hard pressed to find any period property that hasn't had some form of infestation. You'll see up here good examples of woodworm and death watch beetle. This is something which all old buildings, as I said, you'll find in there. A lot of it can be dormant, or are historic, so you haven't got to worry. Again, if you are worried about it, or the surveyor has raised it as an issue, then I would recommend that we get a infestation specialist out to have a look at it. They will have a look round, they'll have a look and get an understanding of what they believe is still live and what is historic, and then recommend the appropriate treatments thereon. Again, don't be too worried about the cost. Again, we've heard that these things can cost tens of thousands of pounds. My own experience is I've had the whole house treated for both death watch beetle and woodworm, and it didn't cost me anywhere near that amount.